Hey y'all, listen. I found this clip on X, Twitter. I thought you might be interested.
Black folks, every time I turn around, I just get more and more sick of y'all. What in the hell are y'all celebrating? Y'all haven't seen Camilla this entire time. She allowed y'all to drink up all the Czech sodas that y'all wanted and take all the pictures with her that y'all wanted, showing nothing but gums and teeth. Half of the photos that y'all was able to take with this woman wouldn't have dare been captured in a photo with half of y'all if she didn't need you. She wouldn't dare be even caught standing beside some of y'all if she didn't need you. And y'all celebrating because she was able to raise up millions of dollars in 24 hours? When we got sisters and brothers out here in the world can barely provide food on the table for their families. Honestly, I think the best thing for all of us to do is do like our grandparents taught us. Stop tending to other people's house and worry about our own house. Some of y'all are too focused on the White House. In fact, some of y'all are just entirely too grown. You actually seen plenty presidents make it in and out the White House with absolutely no change being made after they depart. So I don't know why some of y'all grown ass is celebrating like y'all doing. You should be crying. You should be actually focused more on your finances, because by now you should know that all of this shit is about money. And if you ain't got none, you don't even matter. Your vote don't even matter. Your opinion don't even matter. Your celebration don't even matter. And let's just all stop deeming people to be the best fit for us just because we simply share the same skin color as them.
Good evening. My name is Willie Lawson, and I am the host and CEO and chief bottle washer and janitor of fightbackmedia.com and the host of the Morning Report. As I'm scrolling through Twitter, X, I'm sorry, and other places like not so much Instagram, but on TikTok, like when I'm and YouTube, I'm seeing a lot of people that have similar melon content as myself. Now, by the way, white folks have melanin too, just not the same color melanin. I don't know, science. Making a point of they are not, though they have decided at this point not to support Kamala Harris for president. And I am in that rank. I know that a lot of you who've been following me for a while, all my subscribers, you're not surprised by this, but I think that, I think it's important to be clear. It's important for people to know where you stand, and I just can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is a person whose presidential campaign ended before the first primary. This is 5 years ago. I'm old enough to remember that. Which means that she didn't have any support. She didn't have any support from her home state. Maybe it's because of her dealings as the attorney general and how many African American men, black men, and minorities were incarcerated for minor marijuana offenses. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the switch of calling in the debates, calling Joe Biden a racist, and then not being able to wait to run to Washington, D.C. to be his vice president. I was under the impression that when you call somebody a racist, that's probably the worst thing that you can manage to call someone. But now you're going to go and be subservient to that, because let me help you. The vice president isn't a co-president. That's not how it works. A vice president is completely subservient to the president. The vice president serves at the pleasure of the president. The vice president can be dismissed by the president without cause at any time the president sees fit. Did you know that? Read it. So Kamala Harris decided that she would go and be subservient to the racist. That doesn't make any sense to me. That sort of the ability to change colors like that, no pun intended, and to make that switch doesn't make any sense to me. Does it to you? It seems like this person is the epitome of an opportunist. Now, politicians are opportunists. Politicians are opportunists. They are opportunists by nature. But when they are an opportunist at this level, and are and this is very important. And if you watch this and you're Black, African American, Hispanic, or whatever, um, this person never admitted to being, I don't know, Black like me, ever. She lived a an Indian lifestyle. Her dad's Jamaican and Marxist, and her mother is Indian. And I don't have anything against people who are from Jamaica or anything against people from India. Not at all. That's not the point. The point is that she is being portrayed as Black like me, and she's not Black like me. She is not. And she is not a person who has lived an oppressed life. She's lived an upper middle class life her entire life. So she's not been oppressed. She doesn't know oppression. She doesn't know being, riding through a neighborhood and getting pulled over by the cops just because you're riding through that neighborhood. She's never gotten the light, the flash light in her eyes. What are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you here? She's not Black like me. And I'll tell you, she's probably not Black like you either. So we can stop all that madness. We can just stop all that madness. There is I guess a Zoom call or a TikTok live that's out there that this one person says that she's going to vote for her because she's a Black woman, and that's it. And she doesn't have any other reason. And she, I think, in her spirit knows that that's really not enough. It's not enough. Frankly, so you're asking, so what's my deal? My deal is this. I don't think I can trust her. But because she hasn't been trustworthy. How she did her job as the AG in California, how she did her job as an attorney general in San Francisco, allowing for at least a half dozen illegal immigrants to have their records expunged because they were now in a work program. I don't trust her. So you say, well, so how can you trust Trump? Because he's already been president for 4 years. I've already seen that dude in action. I've already seen that crazy so and so in action. I've already seen it. We all lived through all the, he's going to cause World War III, and there was not one more front opened in any place in the world that had to do with us. I lived through the stock market is going to crash, and it's going to be the greatest depression in the history of the world if Trump gets elected president, and that didn't happen. As a matter of fact, with certain tax cuts, more people had more money in their pockets than they've had in a long time. There was record employment in almost every demographic in the country. That's what I saw. I didn't see the doom and gloom that was predicted by a lot of folks when they said, if you let Donald Trump, we're going to go into a mass depression. I heard people saying crazy, insane stuff. If Donald Trump gets elected, then we're going to go back to Jim Crow days. I didn't see any of that. What I did see is that a bunch of the presidents from the historical Black and Black universities, HBCUs, in the Oval Office, not just for a photo op, but being guaranteed funding going forward, guaranteed funding, federal funding going forward. That's what I saw. And and you can try to make the case and gaslight me on, well, that's not what was really going on, except that I saw it, and a lot of these historically Black colleges and universities saw the money come in, and saw the scholarships go out and saw the students come in, that actually happened. That actually happened. I'm old enough to remember when gas prices where I live were hovering right around the $2 mark. I'm not one of those places where it was below $2. It was 210, 225, 250. And that in itself, because that's how things work in life, that put money in my pocket, money I didn't have to spend on fuel. I got to spend on things like groceries. I got to spend on things like house repairs. I got to spend on things like whatever. I don't know, taking my wife out for a weekend at a nice resort in Orlando because we could budget that extra money because we had it. I don't know. I'm old enough to remember that. I don't see any of that in the past 3.5 years. As a matter of fact, I've seen everything become more expensive. Now I'm old enough to know that what things over time get more expensive. But I'm also smart enough to know that inflation is caused by government. Inflation is not necessarily caused by businesses just getting greedy. That's not it. And some of us are being gaslighted into thinking that. That is the business's fault. Inflation comes when government spends too much money. I don't know. Look it up. Look it up. So no, I'm not with her because I can't trust her. I wonder why, but not really, why it took so long for President Obama to endorse Kamala Harris. You know why? Because they were making some backroom deals. President Obama wasn't sure that cabal was going to get what it wanted. And when he was guaranteed that, then his endorsement came through. I don't know. This is my opinion. So no, I'm not with her. I don't vote for people just because they're Republicans. I don't vote for people just because they're white. I don't vote for people just because they're black. I just don't. I do not. Because it isn't always the best thing for us. My very, very good friend, and I miss her terribly right now, is Shirley Huzar, who passed away of cancer a couple of years ago. And she had this phrase, I'm sure you've heard it before. It says, all skin folk and kinfolk. All skin folk and kinfolk. So this idea, this insane idea that just because you look like me, we have the same interests. So because we hear as black people all the time, oh, I'm so glad you're going to somewhere. I'm so glad to see somebody who look like me in here. What's having to do with anything? We don't have the same interests, just necessarily. Just because we have the same skin tone, we have this. I don't know. Just because we're both black, or we grew up in the same neighborhood. That doesn't say that we have the same interests. It's not some secret organization where we have the secret greeting. Mm-mm. And a lot of people on the left would have you think that that's the case, but that's not the case. And frankly, it's never been the case. Be black and be and not go along with the program. You'll know. You can be black and Democrat and not go along with the cabal's program, and guess what? You'll know. You'll know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And with Kamala Harris, honey, all skin folk, you, and kinfolk to me. My name is Willie Lawson, and I am the CEO, chief bottle washer, janitor, and video editor of Fight Back Media. I'm the host of The Morning Report. which is a prediction of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.